Good morning and welcome to First Mount Moriah Veterans Day program. This morning we are honoring all who served. We are grateful for the service of First Mount Moriah members, past and present, who have served in all branches of the United States military and allied forces. This morning we have before us Sergeant Major Johnny Lewis. What does celebrating Veterans Day mean to you?
It means giving honor to the ones that sacrificed, some doing the ultimate sacrifice, which is their life, and others just a performance of duty. And to me, it means patriotic to your country.
Why did you join the military and what were your duties?
Well, I joined the military for one reason, to get off the farm and become something, because I knew it was better, a life out there for everyone, And my job in the Army, I was a telephone installer.
Okay. How long did you have that job?
I had that job until I made E5. When I made E5, then I became a supervisor. And then later on, I made E6, E7, E8, then eventually E9.
Okay. What surprised you about military life versus civilian life?
The camaraderie, I would say. In civilian life, people drop you in a heartbeat. Military trained to take care of each other more than I think in civilian life.
So we all know that basic training is not an easy task. But can you explain to us what was basic training like to you?
Basic training to me was a lot of fun, because we done things that I have never done before. As I said before, I came up basically on a farm, and we did a lot of hard work. First, getting up in the morning, it was no problem getting up in the morning for me, and following instruction was no problem, because the way I was brought up.
Okay.
Because of training or whatever, to get them in that mindset. But in civilian life, you're on your own most of the time. People leave you a whole lot quicker being a civilian than with the military.
Sergeant First Class Ronald Hayes, can you share a memorable or humorous moment from your time in the service?
Thank you. Yes. Okay, when I was in basic, they talk about how they give everybody showers. And one night this guy messed up. He got on what they call the Autobahn, that no one's supposed to walk on. And we took him to the shower with a Brillo pad and scrubbed him in basic training.
Oh, I know that must have been something for y'all to scrub. What did he think about that?
I don't think he liked it.
I'm sure he didn't. What are you proudest of from your time in the military?
That I didn't have to write a letter home saying the son died, I got hurt, or anything. And
that's good.
And all the soldiers I did take to combat made it back.
Okay. Are you involved in any veterans organizations, and what activities do you participate in?
I'm a member of DAV, and I really don't do too much.
So can you tell us some places that you traveled while you were in the service?
Well, initially I took my basic at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, Fort Dix, New Jersey, I went to Augsburg, Germany. Augsburg, I came back to Fort Gordon. And Fort Gordon, I went back to Germany to a place called Radio St. Geiger.
Wow.
From there, I came back to Fort Gordon again.
What was Germany like? Tell us.
Germany, I love the food, and I love the people, especially in the Bavarian area. They were very friendly.
What was your favorite food in Germany?
All of it.
What did you go on to do as a career after service?
Initially, I worked in the prison system over in South Carolina. From South Carolina, I came back over to Georgia and worked in the prison system at ASMP. And then I was at the post office for a while. In the post office, I went to Bridgestone, the tire company.
And
Did
you retire?
And then I retired.
Okay, you retired from Bridgestone. Okay. So I'm sure that working in the prison versus being in the military was somewhat different, right?
Not really.
Not really?
Not really.
Tell us what. Tell us.
Structure. It's type of structure in both of them.
Structure.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Larry Marshall, E4. Why did you join the military and what were your duties?
Well, I joined the military after my first year in college to get money for school, also to see if I could do it. And my duties when I was a medical supply specialist who deal with doing keeping data on the medical supplies in the whole military and the warehouse.
Okay. So did you do any of those duties after the military? Did you go on to seek another career in doing that? Tell me about that.
No, I just did that in my reserve, Rush Road 382nd. We just did supply over there doing training, and I didn't take a career in that. I took a career in criminal justice.
So you were a young guy when you went in the military. So tell me about basic training.
Basic training, it was a little rough, it was like football practice. The main thing was everything was easy except I didn't like to do the 2-mile run, but other than that, it was basically easy. So
can you share a memorable or humorous moment from your time in the service?
Around 93 doing boot camp, all the new recruits was in the dormitory, and we just laughing, joking. And when our drill started low crawling in there, and called joking around and tried to smoke us. But other than that, then when I got to my AIT station in Fort Sam, Houston, it was like Savannah State College. It was college basically. It's more training versus physical activity.
So, what are you proudest of from your time in the military?
A proud moment in the military is when I completed basic training, and I was a squad leader. And when I completed AIT at Fort Sam, and I was a squad leader. That's just making it through basic training AIT.
So, what did you go on to do as a career after service?
After service, I went back to Savannah State College and I graduated in 1997. At the time I graduated, I went to be a correction officer at Coastal State Prison. I did that for 4 years, correction officer. Then I transferred back home to Augusta, where I worked at Augusta Verdict Center for 2 years as a correction officer. Then I transferred to the Verdict Center, which I was a counselor for 15 years, and I retired from Department of Correction with 20 years service.
Okay. Are you involved in any veterans organizations, and what activities do you participate in?
Mainly with the Uptown VA. I go to my doctor's appointments. Now I'm 100% disabled veteran, and probably going to join the VA in Augusta, the Legion.
So I know that you had some medical challenges. Are you okay to discuss those? And because we're so proud of you.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. Well, with medical challenge I'd say around 2021, I started having congestive heart failure. And I did with about from 2021 to around 2022 when I went in the hospital because it went from left side of heart failure to right side heart failure. And the only cure for right heart failure is a transplant. So I went to the hospital in Emory University in April of 2022. And I got a heart transplant in May of 2022, which was third age, which is unbelievable because I wasn't on the list or anything. So after my heart transplant in May of 2022, I came home June 30th, 2022. And I've been doing good ever since.
Certainly. God is good.
God is good, and
yes,
being a donor is good.
Yes, it is. Really is. Is there anything you would like to add that we have not covered in this interview?
Well, the only thing I can add is for all young men that's 18 to 30, it's a good idea to go in the military. I did that after I went to college. The military can make you disciplined, make you structure, and give you what you need to succeed in the world. So,
exactly.
If I can give the young men and all young women, I like to go to high school at least get you 4 years in or more, so make a career out of it. That's my point for everybody.
Good morning, First Sergeant Lawrence Bryant. What does celebrating Veterans Day mean to you?
It was a joyful day. At one time, I was enjoying Veterans Day, getting a day off on the job and going to the restaurant, getting a little free luncheon and dinner and meet up with a lot of other veterans that I hadn't seen in a long time. And that's a joyful thing to see other guys that walked in the same tracks I walked in.
Why did you join the military and what were your duties?
I joined the military. First, I was drafted. Then I volunteered to keep from going into the job they wanted chose for me. Eventually, it didn't do no good. I ended up in the combat arm anyway. So the best thing that ever happened to me was the military, because all my cousins and running partners, they didn't get killed in the war, they got killed on the street. So I was blessed by being in the military.
What was home?
In the military, I was living in Memphis, Tennessee. I grew up in a place called Clarksdale, Mississippi, where I went to college at. But my home still Memphis, Tennessee, and that's where I entered the military from.
Thank you. What surprised you about military life versus civilian life?
Military life, there's a lot of respect and honor. Your word means a lot. And you learn to respect people's rights and other people's views by things. You don't just your way or no way. And the military teach you kindness and how to treat people. And the military gave me opportunity to raise a lot of people's children. I raised a lot of people's children. I worked in a military school for years.
Can you share a memorable or humorous moment from your time in the service?
In 1987, 88, we jumped off in a conflict in Panama. My whole family was there. So they moved us out into the jungle. My wife and kids were left there in the house area. They could see the bombs and stuff exploding at night. And one of the lieutenants came in and said, my wife asked, how's my husband doing? The soldiers protect him so good, he got to laying up sleep. They taking care of him real well. She trained them good. So that's my thing. You train your soldier good, you don't have to work so hard.
Good morning, Sergeant First Class Eddie Ivy. What are you proudest of from your time in the military?
I guess one of my proudest moment in the military, going into the military, it taught me discipline. One of the things that it taught me is to care for other people. Even though you were going into a war situation, you had to show love and understanding for other people.
Where did you travel while in the service?
I had a short tour in Japan and 2 tours in Korea.
What part of Japan?
Osaka. Oh yes, I was at Fort Gordon, Fort Belvoir, Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and my favorite place of all, Fort Carson, Colorado.
What did you go on to do as a career after service?
After service, I went into sales. I was a car salesman for 18 years after I got out the military.
Can you share a memorable or humorous moment from your time in the service?
I guess one of the most humorous moment I had, I was getting ready to go TDY to Fort Lee, Virginia, and I got a call and it said my daughter had been in an accident. So I hopped the plane, went to Macon, and when I got to Macon and got out the cab, then my daughter come and riding up the street on the bicycle. So she was in an accident, but my niece had made it seem like she was hurt so bad. So I ended up rushing home to see about my daughter.
Is there anything you would like to add that we have not covered in this interview?
Well, one thing I like to add, the military been good to me, and I think it was the best thing that happened to me when I was among the last few people that was drafted into the military. And after staying in for my first 2 years, I liked it, and so I re-enlisted and served 21 years.
Good morning, Staff Sergeant Gary Ogburn.
Good morning.
What does celebrating Veterans Day mean to you?
It means a chance to do and celebrate the brethren that are over there now and the ones that were there when I was there, to represent our country and to uphold freedom for all of us.
Why did you join the military, and what were your duties in the military?
I joined the military really because I was without a destination, and I joined the military. And my qualifications put me into electronic warfare. So I was part of the military intelligence force.
Okay. What was basic training like for you?
Rough. It's cold, and some mornings we had to be out in the snow with just our boxers and t-shirts on. So it was a rigorous training, because back in those days, they don't do it like they do now. They had hands-on with us. And we learned the real foundation of being a man and to be disciplined as a man.
Okay, so tell us, what are you proudest of from your time in the military?
My travel and the friends that I met along the way.
Okay,
I have friends all over the world now, and it's a pleasure to be known like that. And all of them, some of them still send me Christmas cards, and I still talk to some of them every now and then.
So where are some places that you traveled in the military?
I've traveled to Europe. Most of my duties were in Europe. I was in Frankfurt, I was in Hanau, I was in Hamburg, I was stationed in Nuremberg, and all my travel was within those places. And Gelnhaus was a small town outside of Hanau. And all of those ventures, it was military intelligence. So it wasn't nothing for me to do exactly but to go out and run the radar. I was a radar operator. And my thing was ground surveillance. Okay. Life expectancy was 3 seconds in a war zone.
Is there anything you would like to add that we have not covered in this interview?
Well, just for people to understand that when you're going into the military, you have certain standards that you have to go by. And you can apply some of these standards to your everyday living. But you have to be, organized within yourself to want more things for yourself. So they teach you the basic things, but you have to put the rest of it with it.
Okay. Thank you, Staff Sergeant Gary Ogburn.
But always keep God first. All right.
Okay. Good morning, Master Sergeant Johnson. Mm-hmm. How do you normally celebrate Veterans Day?
I normally don't celebrate it. You know why? It's nothing against, and all of that. Sometimes it just don't faze me. A lot of holidays and important days and all of that. When I was in the military, most of those days I had to work. Christmas, New Year's, you name it. My job, I had to work. And I couldn't really celebrate them too much because I had to be on my job. And then
even now?
Not now.
Okay.
I'm retired, so.
And tell us again, which branch of service did you serve in?
Air Force, U.S. Air Force.
Okay.
Yes.
Tell me, what was basic training like?
In the Air Force, it wasn't hard really. It's mostly mind boggling. They try to get you strict and want you to be respectful and all that like that. And it wasn't physical like the Army it wasn't on that physical. The Army go to a lot of strenuous, exercises and stuff like that. The Air Force didn't. They did not then when I was in. They didn't. I mean, it was fairly just, marching, go to physical edge, out in the fields, and we run a little bit, a couple of miles sometimes, and then we do exercise like push-ups and like that and all of that. Man, it was, you look back at it, it wasn't not Air Force, not the Army and Marines.
What were some places that you served? What locations?
I went temporary duty to Newfoundland, Canada. That's way up past New York, and it's cold up there. Thailand, Guam, England, Germany, and that was about it overseas, just about. I did about 5 overseas tours and about 5 stateside tours.
Okay.
Yeah.